there's a lot about being an entrepreneur that requires you to be very bold. So as an example, you have to have very big. Yeah, if you do something very incremental and tiny, like you're having very little impact on the world, it's probably going to get swept up in like other things that are going on around you, and it doesn't have a lot of sort of survivability. Doing big things, they're riskier, but they're also much more likely to turn into something super important for the world. There's that kind of side of bold, and that's my DNA. Not every startup is going to be that bold in that way, but the other side of it is the side that every entrepreneur has to have, which is this deep conviction, kind of marching to your own drummer, being a little weird. It's okay, guys. You're going to get people coming out of the woodwork telling you your idea is stupid. Saying it's never going to work. People you actually trust and respect are going to say this to you. Probably not this. I mean, maybe every now and then. I'm sure there's an idea that everyone goes, "Wow, that's just the best thing I've ever heard of." But usually not. If it's a visionary enough idea, it's usually something that most people don't see. I guarantee you, Chad Hurley wasn't sitting around saying, hearing everybody say, "Oh yeah, totally, everyone's going to make their own video and they're going to put it up on the web and this thing's going to be huge." I'm sure he did that because of personal passion. And it's the same thing with e-commerce and Amazon.com. It's me with Pelago, Groupon. Groupon actually was an evolution of another product called The Point. But all of them were just very, very high risk, kind of big ideas where people were like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard." And you've got to persevere through that and not be affected by it. You want to listen, you want to learn, but when it comes down to your opinion versus the opinions of others, you really need to trust your opinion, and you've got to be the one that pulls the company through all the doubt. And so that's a particularly incredible or important aspect of being bold. The other thing to realize is that another sort of version of, or another sort of a facet of boldness is the kinds of problems you tackle. And so, it's sort of tempting to go after somewhat easy-to-solve problems, but there's no value in solving easy-to-solve problems because everybody can solve easy-to-solve problems. And so, any proceeds you get from solving such problems just get divided among many, many people. What you want is the really nasty, hairy problems that they're just gross. And you go in there and you solve it the way what these people are doing with natural language processing today, for example. That's a super messy problem, and it's never perfect. But you can get a product that's a huge value add for people out of that mess, and it's a huge barrier. Most people won't take on that kind of a problem. They'll just be like, "Well, that's just we just don't have the skill to do that kind of thing," and it would take years or whatever to be able to build that capability. So what you want to tackle is really hairy problems that don't attract the masses. It's really great, by the way, if you also choose a problem that's not sexy, like mobile and like real-world discovery.